Have you ever gone to a very well-designed coffee shop and you have noticed that you enjoyed that simple coffee 10 times more just because the design of the space was nice? The arrangement of things were nice, from the seating to tables to the cashier, and overall it brought you a certain level of comfort that you experienced joy slightly more out of your ordinary coffee. If so, you have experienced the bliss of quality design. And I'm here to propose to you that you can actually adopt and learn that design thinking part to bring more joy in your life. Behind the scene, it was a designer or a team of designers equipped with training, thinking, and certain type of tools that they solved a series of problems around consuming coffee to bring more joy. Because if you are equipped with design thinking, you could design yourself and architect your life. And what is this design thinking that you're talking about? If there is one thing that you want to know about design thinking, that is, it's an iterative type of thinking. It is not a type of thinking that after thinking, you have the solid answer. Yet, it's a type of process of thinking. It is a process that is cognitive and also strategic, that goes around this loop of build, assess, see what's working and what's not working, refine, and then build again. This way, you will end up with build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that at each level, they solve more problems with the aim of receiving a certain goal. In the coffee shop example, a good coffee shop experience that increases your joy of consuming coffee. And often than not, this type of thinking results in multiple options and multiple answers. For example, option 1, option 2, option 3, with the difference. When we normally plan to do things, we have plan A that we really like, and we have a safety backup plan. In the design process, all the options are all viable and doable and really appraised the same amount, while sometimes you have the wow option. So if the client likes that wow option, you get something extra for yourself as a designer. For you, it could be a lifestyle that really brings the wow in you. Let's explore a little bit more. You might say, okay, I kind of get it, but there are so many problems. How can I do the design thinking to solve my problems? Because you mentioned, a designer for a coffee shop solves for where people sit, where people line up, where the storage is, where the washroom is, where the lighting are, etc., etc., etc. There are so many problems. And I say, yes, in the sea of problems, we have to rely back on the two qualities of this process. From the cognitive part, you could choose which problems to solve, which problems to completely ignore, and which problems use as a feature. And the second component of this process is being strategic. That means which of these problems you want to solve first that has a certain domino effect that makes solving bigger problems easier or almost automatic. Okay, so I understood. There is a sea of problems that I have, and I have to attack it cognitively and strategically. Not all the problems should be solved, not all the problems are a reason to do certain design thinking. So what should I do when there is too many problems? So I'm gonna tell you what an architect does. An architect is basically bringing bunch of systems together to create a project. Let's say your house. Your house, there's a system of construction from the bricks to drywall to the glass. And there are other systems that are connected. And this built system is placed in the middle. Those systems could be the electricity, the water, the plumbing, and the sewage, the air conditioning and air quality controls, that they all all come together, work in synergy and harmony that create the house that you live in. So basically, an architect puts these systems together. When it comes to architecting your life, you can distinguish and categorize this with different systems. Let me show you. See, as this beautiful diagram shows, you are built of already two types of systems. One is conceptual, that brings your mindset, worldview, and your spirit. And the other one is the biological system, that is your body, things regarding your health, diet, and mood. And this compound system, just like a building or a house, is placed in between two other systems, the economical system and the social system. And it's really important to understand that the economical and social systems, you choose where you put yourself in it. And the main, most important two systems that you personally work with is your conceptual system and your biological system. I'm going to give you an extreme example. A Buddhist monk that goes in a cave for decades and just practices meditation, they have completely unplugged the systems of economical systems and social systems. They could not bother with any of those, and they can live a fulfilling life based on their own beliefs and value systems when it comes to their mindset and their spirit, and when it comes to their body. Hence, those two systems are the most important systems that you have access and full control on. That in a way creates how you perceive the social, economical, and the world around you. If you establish a really good systems, conceptual and biological for yourself, the outside world would not affect you at all. So I understood the systems that you're talking about and the engineering, designing that you're talking about. What is the first step that I could take? Oh, I touched the microphone. What is the first step that I could take right now? Give me some homework. Tell me. These Italians are asking good questions though, but yes, they're funny. So the first thing is create your worldview in three categories. Three. Your spiritual view, your work view, and your life view. And choose your core values that link in the description. Same thing from James Clear, the list of human values. And start by describing and descripting what is it that you want to achieve and what is it that you want to avoid in all these three areas. And use that core value as your North Star, as your compass, as something that guides your description of your worldview when it comes to work, life, and spiritual. And it's also important to notice that spiritual doesn't mean religious or like meditation and stuff like that. Reading a piece of poetry and contemplating and thinking about it for 10 minutes, that is a spiritual practice. If that aligns with your core value, that might be your complete view, worldview when it comes to spirituality. My design for my life, it would be an amazing, joyful life if I get to read 1 hour of poetry every month and sit with it and absorb the message that it has. So that was just one example. So define and see in these three areas, what is your unique worldview that is aligned with you? Because every day, society, conditions of the world, your neighbors, your friends, your family, your culture, the TV, Netflix, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and many things distract you and pull your attention away to the degree that you realize, oh my God, I've been so off track from my core value, what I'm doing. So it's good to remind yourself and write those descriptions in a way that becomes a motto. So every now and then there are reminders in the external world that remind you of that. And once you have that view it's easier to design how you're going to approach all these three areas, which is a topic that I am really excited about and I enjoy. And I want to create some worksheets and exercises. So in the future videos, I will be linking those. I just wanted to give you a general understanding of architecting your life as a concept, so you know what you do. Let's see. Oh, the Italian guy, do you have any questions? I don't know. This is the first time I'm designing. What does the good designer do? What does a bad designer do? Tell me how can I be a good designer? What is it about? Oof, this is getting out of hand. So I'm just gonna share two qualities that I think is really important. Your style, if you're a good designer, comes after experience and experiments, aka after a long time. If you define your style too early, it's a wasted opportunity. Imagine if Picasso maintained that its style early on and never got into Cubism. I don't like the Cubism stuff, but that's what Picasso became. And we know Picasso because of the Cubism stuff. That means if you early on had the ideas of this is how life goes, this is how work goes, this is my spiritual practice, you could revise them. You chose your style maybe too early. What if you chose these things in your early 20s? Don't you think it's a good idea to revise them? So a good designer defines its style, their style, after time with experience and experimentation. Another quality that we touched slightly before is that select which problems you want to solve, because you cannot solve all the problems. And the thing that I mentioned, sometimes your problem could become a feature. Instead of cutting this tree to make space for this built house, they put it nicely and they incorporate it in the design of the house. Oh, but I'm not designing a house, a lifestyle. How can I do features? With that funny accent, I'm going to give you a funny example. Let's say one of your problems is that you're losing your hair. And right now, you cannot do anything about it because you don't have money for transplant. You don't know what to put on it, etc., etc. You're going to shave it, and losing your hair becomes a feature. You become that Italian buff guy with the bald head. And then that's your character. That's your design. That's specifically design on yourself. Same applies for the rest. So take 10-15 minutes, review the core values that I'm going to link in the description, and create the draft of those three areas, the three world views that are most important in lifestyle architecting. That would be your spiritual view, your work view, and your life view. And with that, I salute you. Ciao. A domani. See you tomorrow. Take well. No. See you tomorrow. Take well. I don't know. See you tomorrow.